The case for crypto. I want to talk a little bit philosophical today on why is crypto going to be a part of what saves the world? Bold claims, right? How can this be true? In fact, when you ask each of us why we're here for the money, right? Well, at least for the huge financial gains. That's why I'm here too. But what if there's an additional added benefit that could come from this? Well, let's ask ourselves, what is it that traditionally holds back people from, say, the rights that the U.S. Constitution was supposed to enshrine of life, liberty, and the pursuit to happiness? Well, it's often held back by glass ceilings imposed by either one of two things: cultural norms, but mostly by politicians, right? So let's ask the question, do politicians have our best interests at heart? Well, generally, politicians have a 2% to 20% positivity rating or approval rating as a whole. What's funny is when you do ask people about specific politicians, it usually gets higher than that. Oh, this politician has my back. He's for the people. But politicians in a whole, and even those numbers on specific politicians, aren't great. So the numbers tell you what people really feel. So either we're right on that or we're wrong. But for sure we feel like politicians aren't helping more than they're hurting. So let me ask you, in any country around the world, would you say most politicians want crypto to replace their fiat currency? Almost none, right? In the few that there are, why are they supporting it? Well, because presently those countries don't have their own fiat currency, right? El Salvador is seeing their economy hurt as the U.S. prints endless amounts of new dollars to supposedly fix internal U.S. problems, thereby hurting those countries that pegged their system to the U.S. dollar. So El Salvador is just reacting as they should. They're saying, let me find a less volatile solution. Now, this announcement by El Salvador sent earthquake ripples throughout the financial and political world, and those effects are still being seen as other countries really look to make the same move. And we already heard from Paraguay saying, yep, me too. And can you blame them? So let me ask you this. Why is it governments control the currency in the first place? Well, for good reasons, because until recently, as corrupt as politicians usually are, they were a way better option than any other mechanism. But now with Bitcoin and smart contracts, you can create coded mechanisms that set the rules, which set the foundation of what is accepted as money and as a store of value. And everyone can know what the inflation is going to be or not be. And so now code is more reliable than human politicians. Now, interestingly enough, in the 1700s came an amazing idea of a separation of church and state, which has been a tremendous step forward for mankind. Now, I personally am a believer in our Creator, but the problem was that when a church runs a country, then corrupt people embed themselves in that church for the power it can bring them. Rather than the church being a place of inspiration and teaching correct principles, it often becomes a den of corruption itself. When you take away the power of state from church, well then, greedy, corrupt people don't have the same financial and power incentives to go that route. So, what is coming is the next human evolution of the separation of money and state. It wasn't possible till now, not even 20 years ago, but the decentralization of the internet set a foundation that then blockchain could be possible, and blockchain makes possible that you can have digital money secured by code rather than the word of politicians. Don't get me wrong, there are going to be politicians who are going to recognize the loss of power that this could bring them, and they will fight it. They will fight it with any persuasive tool they can use. They will say things like Bitcoin is bad for the environment. Bitcoin contributes to global warming and we care about the environment, so we must ban it. Now, if they were truly worried about the environment rather than Bitcoin, wouldn't it make sense that they would be proposing sustainable energy solutions for Bitcoin rather than ban it? No, what they're really doing is hiding their true intentions by the vehicle of preserving the planet. But that's just a selling point that they use to try to guide people, because most people are on board with making the planet a cleaner, safer place. So why do they fear Bitcoin to begin with? Well, because they fear the loss of power that control of the money supply gives them, and that power is huge. A little bit of history. Which U.S. president is considered by most to be the most corrupt in the last 100 years? Truth is, everyone has different answers to this, but is it safe to say that Nixon is way up there? Well, who was the U.S. president who took the U.S. off the gold standard? So since that time, it has created a situation where no U.S. president wants to be the one to stop the overprinting of money because it could collapse the economy on their watch. Secondly, the amount of power that it gives being so close to the printing press, because often politicians reward their donors, not their voters. So no president fixes this. Since so many other economies are pegged to the US dollar, this has had effects around the world. So the world is heading towards a collapse of fiat currency, and the replacement system is already here. How this plays out, we really don't know. Now, there are problems with Bitcoin for payments, right? It makes a great store of value, but payments? Which crypto is going to win the fight for supremacy for payments? Well, some are working on making Bitcoin better for that, but the truth is it might be an altcoin. We don't really know. What we do know is that the internet and crypto is making a true global economy. Before, if you were in a poor country in different parts of the world, you couldn't even invest in anything because you didn't have a bank account. Now, you just need a smartphone. The solutions are coming, and what we are part of is bringing these solutions. You are in exactly the right place and at the right time. If you think you missed too much because you're just joining us now, stay tuned. It's going to be a wild ride. My guess is we have half of the bull market left this cycle still, and then probably another bear market. Stick with us during that time because that's when the very best buys happen. Then another bull run. So join us for this 5-year journey that my guess is will lead many of us to financial freedom in many countries around the world. Now, I've been in crypto for 4 years now. I caught the tail end of the bull run last time. Sticking around during the bear market was the best decision I could have ever made financially. And this bull run has been tremendous already. And I want that for each of you as much as it's possible. Now, you still have to make smart decisions. If you invest in crap is what you're going to get, right? So join us as we each work towards financial independence in a system that has the potential to radically bring true power back to the people of this world. Now, if you like this content, subscribe. And if you don't, that's great too. I would love to hear what country you're tuning in from. I really appreciate each of you that shouts out from the country that you're in. I love the ability that we can all have one big conversation these days, thanks to the internet and thanks to crypto. Love to hear also what your goals are for crypto. Our community has a Telegram channel. You can get it if you click see more in the video. And until next time, I'm going to hand over to Manuela with her song for all you rainmakers. Rainmakers that are joining us for this 5-year journey to make it rain for their future. See you soon.
Success is falling, flowing like rain. The timing's right, we're getting paid. Come on, rainmakers, let's make this happen.